We take off quite literally from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic interrupted aviation activities in March this year, Kenya is allowing international flights in and out of the country. Victor Kiprop is at the JKIA airport with the very latest. You've been there since 6 o'clock. What action have you witnessed?
Mark, it's been more than 130 days to be precise. That's more than 4 months without any international passenger flight taking off or landing at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport or any other airport in the country for that matter. And today, the day has been quite historic in itself, being that this kind of suspension has never been seen before. And the flights took off quite early, as early as 7 this morning. The first flight took off to Addis Ababa. We've seen several other flights to several other destinations, including Kigali. We've seen another flight to London. And just, of course, before we spoke to you, that's 1 hour ago, we had 2 flights landing from Kigali, Rwanda, and another one landing from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, basically kickstarting the country into resumption of international passenger flights for the first time since March. But the most important thing, and a bit controversial on this aspect, has been the issue of whether passengers coming into the country should be quarantined or not. Of course, as you are aware, as the country is aware, the number of cases of coronavirus in the country continues rising, and it means the pandemic has not yet been, let's say, defeated. That means any resumption in flights or activities should be in strict compliance to those issues. And of course, as you're aware, the government or the Ministry of Transport yesterday picked a list of 19 countries, many of them from Africa and other destinations, including the United States, the UK, with travelers from those destinations, Mark, will be allowed into the country without having to go to quarantine. But that list, of course, had some very notable exclusions, including our neighbors, including Uganda and Tanzania. Uganda has not yet opened up its borders, but for Tanzania, that has been a very controversial, issue over the last 48 hours, which followed, of course, saw the Tanzanian Civil Aviation Authority banning Kenya Airways from flying to Dar es Salaam. And it is an issue that has escalated over the last 48 hours, and coming a few days after another plane carrying a Kenya delegation to the funeral of former Tanzanian President Benjamin Mkapa was allegedly turned back. Of course, we were asking ourselves if there is any coincidence or if this is the tip of the iceberg on, of course, probably a potential diplomatic standoff between the two countries. But we spoke to CAS Ababu Namwamba, Foreign Affairs CAS Wamalwa this morning. Ababu Namwamba, and he said there is no bad blood between the two countries, and that the issues, of course, will be resolved. So, of course, there is a lot that needs to be told out there, and we will be certain to make sure we cover all these aspects of the resumption of international passenger flights in our subsequent bulletins, Mark.
Victor Kiprop, thank you for that update.